Hey Yoke, what's the word with the new week and the barracks of the Chico Army? And of course, any newbies, you're just a viewer of the tube. If you were wondering, I'm the host Tyler, and this is a crypto channel whose razzle dazzle always makes a delicious treat.
So Necro thinks his food isn't ever good enough. It needs to be dressed up. So I learned this little trick on the internet. Oh, lucky dog. Lucky dog. Oh, man.
You know our pooch pranks. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, this is something we have to talk about, as I'm sure those sitting in the driver's seats of Global Power and Finance 1.0 and the crypto exchange owners are talking about it too. The growth of DeFi, total value locked up within protocols, is on a tear lately, with DeFi growing from under 1 billion 3 months ago to over 4.4 billion over the weekend. Outstanding and almost unbelievable, with some people calling this the DeFi bubble that will pop. And that's a possibility, but we have actually already had one DeFi bubble, and it popped. Expanding out the DeFi chart over the past year, DeFi peaked at over 1.27 billion in February, and by mid-March it was only 555 million. Now, even back in March during the market-wide crash, which popped all bubbles, DeFi was even younger than it is today. Literally half the protocols weren't even around in March, and their launches were a product of the country's slowdown. Developers staying at home with nothing to do, what are you gonna do? Code. And code they did. Per example, DeFi Pulse at the peak of the last bubble in February of this year, just before the March panic. DeFi Pulse was tracking a total of 21 projects. Today that number is 37. And DeFi Pulse isn't listing everything out there. There is a whole hell of a lot more. So it could be a bubble where it comes crashing down, or it could be one of the biggest opportunities to seize the next financial revolution. What do I mean? Well, Uniswap. It has been surging and taking market share from its centralized counterparts. Now, the outstanding statistic is the fact that the swapping protocol has stayed over 100 million in 24 hours volume over the past 2 weeks, each day with some days higher, and on August 1st, 2 Saturdays ago, it reached its peak of 200 million in 24 hours. Which, if we expand out the chart just a bit more, since the beginning of June, the growth is obviously explosive. Volume just in the millions, but in just 2 months, we are in the hundreds of millions. That's exciting because I love decentralization, and knowing the centralized puppet masters are squirming, seeing this makes me happy, and scrambling to compete is what they are doing. Now, I know I made a video on Monday about Coinbase listings, and those still will be important in the short to medium term. So why does Uniswap have that much volume? Well, simplicity, ease, and the security factors, of course. Swapping happens all from the comfort from your own wallet or hardware wallet, and you don't gotta sign up for an exchange. If you are ready with all the tools needed, Ethereum and MetaMask, and a swap can be done in 30 seconds or less. Yet Uniswap released at the end of 2018, and they had that for a long time, yet volume never reached where it has been recently. It has to be something else, and it is. It's because of access to altcoins which Coinbase or other centralized counterparts cannot list, and have not listed or will not list. So, going to Uniswap and sorting by coins with the top volume. The top altcoins are Daya, Ampleforth, Yearn.finance, TrustSwap, DeFiPi, Etherverse, BZX Protocol, Sora Network, and others. For each of these coins, Uniswap was usually the first to list it for swapping through the creation of liquidity pools. And one of those in the list for top volume is a recent topic of mine, XOR, Zora Network, as they are actually building a cross-chain Uniswap called PolkaSwap for the Polkadot ecosystem and beyond. And since the July 16th video in which I revealed the pick, XOR has blown up from just over $1 to over the weekend it reached over $100 per coin. That is a pure example of the power of Uniswap, the power of the retail investor with a dash of FOMO thrown right in. By the way, I do not recommend buying the top to anybody. But DeFi, easy listing integration on Uniswap, that seems to be the recipe for the rocket boosters as of late. So where do you find these new projects? How do you know what coin will be added to Uniswap and if it's any good and not a pure scam? As with Uniswap, anyone can list a token and create liquidity pools because it's trustless, creating trading freedom for both token projects and traders. Yet it gives nefarious actors the same freedom. The protocol does not discriminate. So you gotta use a combination of resources, and of course DYOR, do your own research, which takes some time and effort as nothing comes easy. So number one, you have to know what is being listed on Uniswap. If only there was a nice tool to notify you of new Uniswap listings. Well, there is, but you have to have Telegram to access it, and it's an announcement channel, and it's called Uniswap Instant Listings. Of course, the link for that is in the description. What I like about this is it provides a link to Uniswap, but also the Etherscan smart contract link and a liquidity amount in USD. Now, you guys, you can't just use this and begin trading on Uniswap unless you want to get wrecked by a scam. Like mentioned, nefarious actors can and will take advantage of Uniswap's open listing and trading, and they are. Most of these listings are going to be scams. That is why you need to research each and every one. Take the time to inspect the smart contract. For example, just yesterday a new coin was added on the channel, the Sandbox. Hey, I've heard of this, a new Binance IEO. This should be big, right? Well, let's just go back to the channel and scroll up. Just 7 hours before the first one is another Sandbox, and then another one just above that, added just earlier. Huh? What is the right one? Well, none of them, my friends, as the Sandbox is still in IEO status with Binance. So all those listings are most likely scammers trying to take advantage of people who do not understand that. Now, you may ask yourself, why doesn't the channel censor these? Well, it's just a bot that takes Uniswap data from Uniswap contract creations, which you can verify are correct on Etherscan, and it puts that data forward. It does not filter. You have to do that. So how do you filter? Well, you got to use more tools, and one I like is pools.fyi, which aggregates liquidity pools to see which ones are a moving and a bubbling. And then you gotta put on the new filter, and then filter by Uniswap v2. And then make sure to sort by liquidity, highest to lowest. And then you can start searching. You wanna see good liquidity, but also good volume, as they can have a big pool, but no one trading the token. So, going to page 2, there is one that has hit my radar. Esbree, as it has a solid liquidity pool, but the volume is crazy high for that size, over 1.3 million 24 hours. Bubbling? Something sounds up with this one, so it's time to DYOR into Esbree. Now, a good place for brand new coins, not necessarily Uniswap focused, but market wide, is the subreddit Crypto Moonshots. Of course, link for that is in the description too. Now, to see if there is any recent discussion going on here, just use the search tool and make sure to limit your results to the Moonshot subreddit. Search by Esbree and nothing comes up. Most people would stop right there, but you gotta keep looking. Now, an S in front of a token sometimes means synthetics, as in an asset or synthetic network token. So maybe just searching by Bree, something will come up. And looky there, a post only 7 hours ago, which is titled, Please DYOR, CBDAO is Maker and Wi-Fi on steroids. Hey, now going into the post, we can see it is from the CoinBreeder DAO, and there is a comment. And there it is, Bree tokens. And the commenter states, Synthetics Bree, Esbree on Uniswap will be swapped out for Bree. You can't just trust a single comment on Reddit though. So again, we gotta use another tool, the trusted old Google search, and then search for Esbree. As we can see, the fourth result is on the CBDAO, a Medium post from the CoinBreeders team. So check that this is a team. And then searching by Esbree on the post, we come to this in the post regarding token allocation and 40% being dedicated to liquidity. This has been counter-proposed by the community, and we will be listing Bree at the average price of Esbree on the day of listing, and the leftover liquidity allocated tokens will be burned. Average price is determined by considering the price of Esbri on a daily basis until the swap date. Twice Esbri is mentioned, and there seems to be a swap going on. So let's go to their website, and it says this. Token sale has ended successfully, and BRI will be deployed on the mainnet at the end of August, upon successfully conducting audits. All Esbri holders will receive BRI automatically via an airdrop, and a snapshot will be taken 24 hours prior to the BRI token contract deployment. So that is why it's bubbling Esbri. They're getting airdropped the actual BRI tokens, a token swap, and that is why the Uniswap volume for Esbri is so high. Now, you just can't stop there, see data points, high volume, high liquidity, and think it's all going to be good. That can be fake. You gotta make sure there is outside hype. Now, I want to go back to the Crypto Moonshots post, and the commenter said this. This is a real gem. 4chan is getting on board. Genius idea for people with Wi-Fi compound balancer synthetics. So is it actually being hyped by the Chan? Well, going to Biz, we can see that yes, there is a post. And clicking into it, it is very popular, highly commented on. Just one post though, we have to confirm that there are more. Using Google again and searching by CBDAO 4chan, and then clicking into 4chan results. We can confirm that the coin is being hyped and chilled by them on the Chan over the past few days. Recipe for success? Well, I'll tell you, Esbri is one I have my eyes on, and I'm going to continue to do my own research into CoinBreeder and the CBDAO and their team. But there is a flag. The team is hard to find because they're anonymous. So this is not a coin pick of mine. I'm just showing you how I do my own research. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.